Hey folks, welcome back to Hank's Tree Barbecue. So today's episode I decided to shell out a bit. We're gonna smoke up a Japanese A5 Wagyu. Yeah, I just saw this in the store. I figured I'll have to try it. I've done quite a few different Wagyu Kobe cooks before on different grills. I decided to do it on my offset smoker today, mainly because a hunk of beef like that with so much marbling, such intense flavor, and specifically so much fat in it really deserves to get married with some smoke flavor. Just like pork belly turns out amazing because it has a lot of fat in the smoker, of course you should smoke Wagyu. Don't be intimidated by the price. It's still a hunk of beef like most other, although with a lot more marbling, so it's going to get done quicker. But that fat just needs a lot of smoke. So we're going to smoke this one. I'm going to show you a few tricks on how I do to get more smoke in a short time period when doing a faster cook like that in my offset smoker. But first, let's take a closer look on this one. So this looks really good. As you can see, there's just about 50-50 fat versus meat, but the flavor is fantastic. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Again, add some smoke. It's really gonna make this beef take off. So I did get quite a thick hunk of beef, which I always do when I buy these exclusive cuts. The main reason is of course that if it is thicker, that means I'm gonna have it in the smoker for longer before it's done. That basically means I can add more smoke flavor, which is just perfect since this is going to be like a less than 1 hour cook anyway. I am going to sear it because it looks good and it tastes good, but just like before with previous Kobe and Wagyu cooks, if you put this over live fire, the fat's just going to burn. So what I'm going to do is just bring out my trusty old cast iron pan, like a $5 flea market cast iron pan, but it's so well greased up and just looks fabulous and works well. So I'm gonna preheat that in the smoker and then we'll sear it for like 30 seconds max on each side, and then it's done and we can get started tasting this amazing beef. So what is it specifically? This is Japanese Wagyu. It's called Akuna Gold A5 12 Plus. So I guess that's just as good as it gets. So I'm really looking forward to sampling this one. But first, let's get some fire going and then we'll give this the royal smoke treatment. And when it comes to fire management, etc., you know, I'm a simple man. I'll just go with oak wood because I really love that flavor. I'm gonna get some matches, get all this kindling lit up, and we should have a fire going in no time. So the smoker's prepped, waiting for it to come up to temp. Shouldn't take long. It's a hot day anyhow, so it should be good. Water in the water pan, thermometer is ready to rock. So as soon as this one hits 120 Celsius to 50 Fahrenheit, I'm gonna get that Wagyu beef in and get to smoking. See you in a bit. So I think we're close to putting the meat on. I did go a bit overboard. I was hitting 200 Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit, but these two correlate down to 140 Celsius now, so just gonna drop the meat in and let it go back to 120. Oh, nice and hot. I'm gonna place this right here in the sweet spot. Should be good. Let's get the thermometer probe in there. So when it's I'm aiming for 50 degrees Celsius internal temp. So when it's like 45 or so, we're gonna bring it out, sear it. Right, I was going to show you a trick about adding more smoke flavor because it's a short cook. Now this is extremely similar to anyone who's ever owned a kettle and put some wood chunks on. What happens when you put the wood chunks on is they start smoldering, adding some extra smoke flavor, which is really good. And we're going to do the exact same thing here. These two are going to help us along, so let me just pop open the door here. I'll show you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put these right next to the fire, not in the fire, but close to the fire. So what's going to happen is the fire is obviously going to warm this up, so they will start smoldering, but not burn. And that's going to give us just a bit more dirty smoke, still on the right side, so to speak, but it is going to add some flavor. And there's a bonus, actually. Not only that, but the fact is when you have these two and they smolder, they're actually going to even out temps just a bit more. So you don't have to put another split in every so often. So I think this turns out really good for shorter cooks. Yeah, extremely easy to do, as you can see, and yeah, that's just the way to go. But for now, we're gonna let that beef get some smoke flavor, really nice ribeye. So I'll check back with you in a while. So the meat is currently at 20 degrees Celsius, still some ways to go, but once it comes time to sear, this is what I'm gonna use. $5 cast iron pan for a plenty dollar meat, but it works really well. Just gonna place it right here above the hot air inlet. Leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes so it'll be screaming hot and just ready for when we need to apply the sear. Should be good. Quick firebox check. See if my little trick did it. Yeah, that's looking good. Just perfect. I'm gonna get the cast iron pan in. I'm gonna pull the water pan out because we don't need it much more. Put this one right above the fire. Oh, the meat's looking good, coming along nicely, but still a few minutes to go. So quick temp check, 125, we have 44.1 in the meat, so I think it's time to get to searing. All right, yeah, looking just fine. A bit pale, but that's to be expected because we're doing the reverse sear, and now I'm gonna give it some quick color in the trusted cast iron pan. See if it's starting to heat up, which is good. Time to pull the temps probes. Just pulled out the top grade here off camera, but I'll move this over. Should be a quick sear. Just want to give it some color. You really can tell that this is a ribeye instead of a sirloin strip, given the money muscle out here and the fat separation, etc. But see what happens. Oh, really nice color. It's not sizzling enough. I'm gonna move it down to the fire pot. Oh, that's proper cowboy cooking. All right, that's looking good. I'm pulling this one. Man, that's a pretty good looking steak. All right, let's transfer it to the tray. So the cook is done. In terms of the cook part of it, not the taste part of it, went really well, just as planned, which is nice. 45-50 minute cook, just perfect. Now all we have to do is wait. And the thing is, weight and Japanese A5 Wagyu don't go well together in my dictionary, but I'm gonna have to go spend just a few minutes leaving it to, well, not cool down, but just rest and stabilize, and then we can slice it in. So give it a minute and I'll be right back. All right, time to slice this bad boy. absolutely fantastic. Soft as butter, really fatty, which I like. The flavor is different because it's a lot higher level of unsaturated fats, which means this is closer to olive oil than butter, if you like that comparison. But ooh-wee, I'm gonna sample this. This is so good. I mean, the richness of the flavor. See how tender it is, obviously, because the pork has rendered down. I mean, this is unbeatable, unbeatable. I'm just gonna get another one. Holy schmoly. That's all you need. Top quality meat, smoke, some salt. Just the last one. I can't believe how savory it is. I mean, so rich, round flavors. Quite different fat characteristic, if you like, but I'm loving it. So, like, just the last one. I said that before, didn't I? Anyhow, what do you serve with a fantastic, rich, flavored meat like that? Just like regular barbecue, I like to have something that cuts through the fat, typically acid. In this case, I made a Mediterranean salad I really like called tabbouleh. So it's a mix of parsley, tomatoes, a lot of lemon juice, and some bulgur or couscous, which I've prepped here. This is an ideal combination. I didn't put a recipe up for this because there are a ton of them online, but highly recommended for any grilled meats, but especially a cut like that where you need the acidity to cut through the fat. So just gorgeous. Ooh. Well, just gonna help myself here. Insane. So, should you cook Wagyu Japanese A5 on a smoker? Definitely. Owe it to yourself if you're a pit master. To get some smoke flavor into that fat is just the bomb. Serve it as it is, or with a really nice bitter beer, or anything you like, as long as you try this at home if you haven't, because it's fantastic. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys next episode.